All right, let's move on to Chiefs Patriots. Talking about balls. Yes, I think I have the balls to fade the Patriots in Foxborough. The Patriots are human. Belichick can lose 2 games in a row. The Chiefs coming in off a statement win. We remember when they met last year in the playoffs. How could you not? It was as spectacular as football gets. This is a completely different Patriots team. They don't have shootout power. They can't play that type of game that we saw in the playoffs against the Chiefs this year. And we know what the Chiefs are going to do. They're going to put points up on the board. Patriots linebackers don't defend the pass well. Patriots have a great defense. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Chiefs are the spot here. This is going to be a fun one. Chiefs, Patriots. Patriots opening up at -3. That's where they stand right now. This total opened up at 49.5. It's down to 48.5. You know, Teddy Cover says that when he wants to fade the Patriots, he just doesn't bet. And I get that. But the Chiefs are a better team than the Patriots with the Patriots offense the way it stands right now. Donnie right side, should I pump the brakes? Chiefs, Patriots.
It's look, I want to be on your side, Jimmy. I really do. And when you look at the Patriots, and really when you boil down their season, unless it's 20 degrees outside, wind blowing sideways with rain, it's hard to back the Patriots. And then we look at games that we just saw on Sunday Night Football, where on the surface, Houston really blew that football team out. But when you get into the actual numbers, Patriots only gave up 275 yards on defense, 275, and gained almost 450 yards, and technically got blown out in the game. Shouldn't even have been as close as what the final score was because of a couple junk touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Now you flip it over and say, what Kansas City's coming to town. And unless it doesn't look maybe 13, 14-mile-an-hour winds and 40 degrees, they're going to be able to put up points. And the one thing I look at the Patriots, and something is amiss, because that football game, Jimmy, that's as healthy as they're going to be on offense for the rest of the year, and they didn't look like anything over the first 3 quarters. I'm leaning on taking the points here, but I think Teddy does bring up some good points. You're still back in Foxborough. It's still really hard to beat the Patriots, so it's one of those games where if I don't know if the Kansas City Chiefs can win in Foxborough, sometimes taking that 2.5 points in the first half where maybe, New England starts slow, which they do, and maybe Andy Reid, one of the greatest scripted play callers of all time, his first 15 plays really hit off, and the Patriots get that early lead. I don't know if Kansas City can win full game in Foxborough, but I kind of like them in the first half here.
This idea, Brooklyn Funk Project, never fade Belichick at home in December. DeAndre saying Belichick losing 2 games in a row and at home. Nope. I want everybody to be saying that. That's going to, give me the number that I need. And getting 3 points here with what I think is a better football team, and Jooks BSG saying revenge game. Nico saying the Pats myth is over, no offense and suspect defense. I don't know if I'd go as far as suspect defense at this point. But, man, I like the Chiefs here. Do we see a harpoon coming from Whale Capper? Should I pump the brakes on the Chiefs?
Yeah, I laid the points on the Patriots, and it's not because of the narratives about the Patriots awful loss or the Patriots at home in December. Those things are real, but it's more of the fact that the Patriots are just that much better than every other team in general. So usually they're not losing 2 games in a row, and the Patriots are that much better of a team in their, built for their environment in the cold, because they are rostered and they generally build momentum through the season, and they're unstoppable at home in the month of December. Those are things that exist that kind of indicate, more about their DNA than actually meaningful trends. But that said, the Patriots team matches up really well with the Chiefs. I've always kind of looked at the top 3 in the AFC with the Pats, Chiefs, Ravens, and kind of thought of them as rock, paper, scissors. The Patriots have a very tough time stopping the Ravens, but they're built perfectly to stop the Chiefs. And the Patriots, all they can really do on offense nowadays is exactly where the Chiefs are the weakest. So I think the Patriots get this win here. I think they lean pretty heavily on the run game. We saw the Patriots have some success with the run on the ground in the first drive against the Texans, and then they went away from it. They never really went back to it. My gut at the time was, okay, they've got some plays in the running game that they know they can deploy, but they're saving them for the Chiefs because they think they can beat the Texans here with a short passing attack. Well, their rhythm never manifests because the young receivers and Tom Brady have no chemistry right now. But I think that there will be room for them in the running game. And I think we saw that, when needed, Tom Brady still has Julian Edelman. He still has James White to pass to. I wouldn't be surprised at all if those are still the two primary targets here against the Chiefs. And I think you see a pretty heavy dose of keep away. We haven't seen Pat Mahomes since he's come back from his injury really look like the same quarterback that we saw through his first 18 starts. That's a little concerning. And I think that the fact that you can match their strength on offense, their speed with your speed in your secondary is a pretty nice matchup. I would expect this to be a grinded out, low scoring kind of game. And I think the Patriots get a win and get back on track here.
I did not want to hear that. A lot of guys in the chat still liking the Chiefs. A lot of guys still liking the Chiefs. Chris Sanitate says over or under. We got to be quick here. Why don't I go? I've got a question for Donnie about this game, so let's be tight here. Whale Capper, over or under if I gave you a free play? We've seen this total open up at 49.5 and go down to 48.5.
I had eyes for the under. I had the eyes for the under since before the Texans game. It's come down a little bit, which I don't love. It's a little tighter now. And the fact you could see some garbage time points from the Chiefs if the Patriots have this well under control and if they take some of their foot off the gas and give the Chiefs a late touchdown or something like that. I think that threatens the under, and so I'm going to stay off this total.
Donnie, why do you like the Chiefs first half and not full game?
It's one of those things where it's hard to just envision the New England Patriots losing at home sometimes, but I do think in the first half, especially with a non-explosive offense like the New England Patriots, longer drives, less chances on the field. So if you do be able to strike, and again, I always like to lean on Andy Reid, not the greatest second half adjustment guy, but unbelievable getting his team ready to play in the first half of football games, and it's going to be plus points. So a tie at the half with a Kansas City team, I like that a little bit here, much more than saying, you know what, they got to go full tilt and beat this team for 4 full quarters up in New England.
Jin Rummy says
that's
over.
A pretty good take.
Jin Rummy says over, and I love when this chat is not talking about it, nor anybody. Donnie Rightside, we heard Whale Capper, if he had a free play on the total, go towards the under, but wanting to stay off the total. If I gave you a free play on this total, what would you do? Chiefs, Patriots?
To be honest with you, I agree with them. I would lean towards the under in this football game because when you're looking at chunk plays, what's New England want to do in this game? Do they want to go 5 wide, spread it out, and have both teams get 13, 15, 16 possessions? No. They're going to want to hand the football off, play keep away a little bit. First downs mean more than touchdowns, how crazy that sounds, just to keep the Kansas City Chiefs off the field. I think that's the pathway to victory for New England, and I think how it should play out. I'll lean on the under.